Let's just jump right in. Because under all the noise of our daily lives, the world is shifting in some pretty serious ways. And the stakes? They've probably never been higher. So we're going to break down some of the biggest things happening right now, from superweapons to massive manhunts, and try to figure out what it all means.
This just came out, a direct warning from Iran, and we're showing it to you in the original Spanish. You don't have to know the language to feel the gravity of a statement like this. So what does it say? This. Let that sink in for a second. 1 ton warheads. This isn't just saber-rattling, this is a country publicly declaring a terrifying new military strategy. And, it signals a really dangerous escalation on the world stage.
Okay, let's really get into this, because what we're witnessing here is kind of the quiet beginning of a scary new global arms race. We are talking about next-generation superweapons.
You have to understand, the whole idea of how to fight a war is changing right in front of us. Think about it. The old way was just overwhelming force. Throw a ton of weapons at a target and hope a few get through. This new way, it's all about annihilation. Just one missile, one perfect hit, designed for the most catastrophic damage possible. It's a huge and frankly terrifying strategic shift.
And this isn't just happening in one part of the world. Nope. Halfway across the globe, a major U.S. ally, South Korea, is getting into the exact same game. The tech giant Hyundai is building them hypersonic missiles. These are weapons that move so fast they're almost impossible to stop.
And when you put them side by side like this, you really see the two sides of this new coin. On one hand, you've got Iran focusing on just raw destructive power. And on the other, you've got a key American ally going all in on speed and tech. They're two totally different approaches, but they lead to the same place, trying to dominate in a new era of warfare.
So while these nations are building these massive weapons, there's another kind of battle going on, a much more personal one. It's the fight for justice, and for some, the fight to escape it. We're shifting gears from the battlefield to the world of global crime.
So what is this? $1 million? It's not a jackpot prize, it's the price on someone's head.
Yeah, the FBI does not put a 7-figure price tag on just anyone. This is for an international fugitive from Venezuela who just got added to their most wanted list. This right here kicks off a massive worldwide manhunt with millions of dollars and the FBI's reputation on the line.
But as one global manhunt gets started, another story of incredible injustice is finally coming to an end. And it shows you just how long it can sometimes take to find justice. It really makes you ask the question, after so much time has passed, what does justice even look like?
For 25 years, a quarter of a century, a woman with a disability was kept as a slave. She wasn't allowed to have money, wasn't allowed to bathe. She was fed scraps, maybe one meal a day. A sentence has finally been handed down, but man, it makes you wonder if you can ever truly get justice back after a lifetime of stolen dignity.
Now look, I know it might feel like whiplash to shift from stories about superweapons and human cruelty to sports, but that's kind of the whole point. Because while all these huge life-and-death things are happening, the world just keeps on spinning, and a totally different kind of drama is grabbing our attention.
In college basketball, a total heartbreaker for Miami, losing a nail-biter at the very end.
Over in the NFL, moves are being made. A key offensive lineman gets snapped up by the 49ers.
And on the world stage, a big win for Team USA in baseball. Right? These are the stories lighting up the headlines and our text messages. But the drama isn't just on the field. It's also in the studios where they talk about it.
Because let's be real, the world of sports media is its own arena, full of controversy, comebacks, and careers that can be made or broken in an instant.
A work in progress. Just 3 little words, but when they come from Stephen A. Smith, ESPN's biggest name, they send shockwaves through the entire industry. He was talking about his old partner, Shannon Sharpe, and a potential comeback that honestly seemed impossible just a few months ago.
So, let's quickly recap how we got here. It was just last April that Sharpe left ESPN right after a sexual assault lawsuit was filed against him. Then, over the summer, that lawsuit was settled, and now his former co-host is out here hinting that maybe, just maybe, the door back to the biggest stage in sports isn't completely shut. Okay, so we've jumped from superweapons to fugitives to horrific crimes to sports media drama. What in the world connects all of this? Well, it's one thing: your attention.
I mean, this chart kind of breaks down our modern reality perfectly. Look at the disconnect here. Geopolitics. The stakes are global stability. But for most of us, it feels kind of distant, right? Abstract. Global crime, the stakes are actual human lives, which is shocking, but it can still feel like an isolated story. But sports and media, the stakes are entertainment, careers. Yet our focus, our passion, it's often immediate and it's intense.
This is just the world we live in now. We're not just getting news anymore. We're getting hit with a fire hose of information, 24/7. One second you're reading about a missile that can break the sound barrier, and the next you're in an argument about a basketball game.
And that's really the main takeaway here. Being informed today isn't just about knowing a bunch of facts. The real challenge, the most important skill, is learning how to decide, how to choose what you give your most valuable resource to, which is, of course, your attention.
So think about it. One-ton warheads are in development. A man has $1 million bounty on his head. A woman is breathing free air after 25 years of slavery. And a football player signed a new contract? I'll just leave you with this question. In this endless flood of information, what truly deserves your attention?